What's good, Day Talks? I'm Bhavyasri Belluri.
And I'm Dalen Williams.
Today is Friday, October 18, 2024. This week was homecoming week, and what an incredible celebration it was.
From parades to football games and alumni gatherings, SIU was alive with energy and Saluki spirit.
We'll be recapping all the highlights and memorable moments that brought our community together.
So sit back and enjoy this homecoming week edition of DE Talks. Southern Illinois University kicks off homecoming week with a series of Western theme events. Highlights include a Hunter Hayes concert on October 9th, the Saluki Block Party on October 10th, and the Homecoming Step Show on October 11th. The homecoming parade took place on October 12th in downtown Carbondale, followed by a tailgate and the Saluki football game against North Dakota State at 2 p.m. The week concluded with Miss Evanes's pageant at Shryock Auditorium.
Carbondale closes down the strip for the Jungle Dogs' last performance. The Jungle Dogs played their final concert on October 11, 2024 during Carbondale's Off the Rail concert, closing down Illinois Avenue as part of SIU's homecoming celebrations. Here's more information covered by our daily Egyptian street reporter William Elliott.
The Jungle Dogs shut down a major highway for one final show. The Jungle Dogs, many of whose members are SIU alumni, headlined a concert on October 11th, shutting down a section of Highway 51 to set up a concert venue. The lineup of the concert consisted of a performance of the fight song by the Saluki Shakers, a full set performance by the Modern Day Saints, and finally, the Jungle Dogs themselves. Eddie Chapa, the bass player for the Jungle Dogs, says how it's a privilege to get the whole band back together.
One of our old drummers is flying in from Los Angeles. There's going to be 10 Jungle Dogs on stage performing together, which it has never really happened before, all at the same time. And you know what? Of those 10 Jungle Dogs members, 9 are SIU alums.
The Jungle Dogs played their first concert at SIU.
My very first time was actually right next to the rec center. And so it's kind of like coming back full circle for me to say, okay, well, we're going to wrap up this band kind of like where it started.
Community members from Carbondale and surrounding areas, alumni, and current SIU students crowded the concert venue. Cheryl Williamson, who used her maiden name, was one of those concert goers who was sad to hear the Jungle Dogs are no longer performing.
It is sad because it makes you feel so old. But they were great. We saw them like every time they played at the old hangar. It was so fun. And I still have my Jungle Dogs t-shirt from like 1986.
The special section of Highway 51 was shut down until Saturday the 12th for the SIU Homecoming Parade. Rocking out in Carbondale, this is Will Elliott with the Daily Egyptian.
School of Theater and Dance defies odds in an electrifying performance of The Lightning Thief. Southern Illinois University McLeod's theater is showcasing an all-female cast in Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, directed by Angela Schultz. The production, based on Rick Riordan's popular book series, brings a fresh twist by casting women in roles traditionally played by men, including Sidney Ryan as Percy Jackson and Amiria Lockett as Grover. The creative decision aims to inspire young girls in the audience by showing them that they too can be heroes. Despite budget challenges that affected the set and costume design, the cast's high-energy performance, including dynamic fight choreography and standout songs like Good Kid, have won praise. The show is a mix of humor and intense action and powerful musical numbers, all while experiencing a modern take on Greek mythology with a strong message of inclusivity and empowerment.
SIU dedicates Bantar to former director Mike Haynes. The SIU Marching Salukis honored former band director Mike Haynes by dedicating the Mike Haynes Marching Saluki Star at Sam Prunella Field on October 10, 2024. Haynes, who directed the Marching Salukis for 4 decades from 1965 to 2005, left a lasting legacy and continued to be a part of the program until his passing in 2022. The event, attended by current band members and alumni, included performances of school songs and modern hits like Dua Lipa's Dance the Night. The new rehearsal space at Sam Grinella Field between the Grinnell Hall and the Student Recreation Center replaces the previous practice location at Lot 56, which had challenges like hot asphalt and barbs. SIU Alumni Band Group President Brian Munoz noted that the new space better supports the band's future growth. Haynes' daughter, Lisa, spoke emotionally about the Marching Saluki's support after her father's passing, calling the band a huge family. George Brossack, the current SIU Director of Athletic Bands, also reflected on Haynes' long-lasting impact, with alumni continuing to revere his leadership years after his retirements.
The annual SIU Homecoming Parade, a cherished tradition, showcased a variety of groups across Illinois on October 11, 2024. The parade featured several marching bands, including the Marching Salukis, celebrating ahead of the football game. This year's Grand Marshal was longtime Saluki sports announcer Mike Reese, who participated for the first time after his retirement in 2023. It felt tremendous. I couldn't think of a better place for me to be here, Reese said. Greek organizations made a strong presence, with the Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity and the Sigma Alpha sorority winning first place for the Saluki Ranch float, which featured Western themes including a horse and a Saluki. Mayor Carolyn Harvey emphasized the connection between the city and SIU, stating that we thrive on each other. The SIU Center for Autism Spectrum Disorder also participated, aiming to raise awareness in the community. The homecoming festivities serve as an opportunity for current students to celebrate and for alumni to reconnect.
Trans-exclusionary activist speaks at Carbondale PD after event relocated from SIU campus. A group of protesters gathered outside the Carbondale Police Department on October 10, 2024 to oppose a speaker associated with the Relay Gaines Center. The event, titled Real Women's Day, hosted by SIU's chapter of Turning Point USA, focused on excluding transgender women from women's sport. Originally scheduled on campus, the event was moved due to TPUSA's prohibition for policy violations. Protesters marched to the police station chanting and banging on windows, while local LGBTQ+ activists including Christina Garnett led the opposition. Despite tensions, police maintained a presence, ensuring safety for both the groups.
Pro-trans right protesters disrupt a trans-exclusionary speaking event. On Thursday, October 10th, a large group of LGBTQIA+ supporters marched their way to the police station in downtown Carbondale to disrupt a trans-exclusionary speaking event hosted by SIU's chapter of Turning Point USA. The protest started off in the Friendship Plaza and made its way to the police station, where the protesters banged on drums, chanted, and even pounded on the windows in order to disrupt the speaking event. Mark Rogan, who used an alias, was one of those protesters. He explained why he protested the speaking event.
I have friends who died of AIDS. I believe that trans rights, lesbian rights, gay rights, bisexual rights, transgender rights is a moral issue for our society. It is something that we as a society need to embrace. As much as society embraces me as a cis-het white guy.
Nicholas Wilkehays, a self-identified trans Republican, attended the event.
So, as a former swimmer, I was touched by Caitlin Wheeler's story, and I've actually followed that story as someone in the trans community. There were a lot of things, too, that I faced when I was younger, back in my hometown, and as a result, my mother pulled me out of swimming due to those same reasons, and so the event really touched me.
The featured speaker, former collegiate swimmer Caitlin Wheeler, was escorted to her car by SIU police officers. As the attendees were escorted out by law enforcement, they faced insults and profanity from the protesters, and an empty water bottle was thrown at one of the event attendees as they exited the police station. Wilkehays had this to say about their experience with the protesters.
I was scared. I was sweating. I think I sweat through my red polo shirt throughout the whole event. It felt a little embarrassing to take a picture with Caitlin Wheeler. It was really scary to hear the knocking of the wooden drumsticks on the window.
The protesters walked down South Washington Street and marched back to Friendship Plaza to end the protest. Reporting in Carbondale, Illinois, this is Will Elliott with the Daily Egyptian.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of DE Talks.
For more information, please visit dailyegyptian.com.
And don't forget to follow us on all of our socials at Daily Egyptian on either Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. Links will be below right here.
Until next time, have a great weekend. Don't forget to comment below and subscribe.
So, I really